played the late game last night. They had to go into overtime. They lost 57-52. And you've got a situation you would think that after that ball game, you'd have to think that these young ladies had a lot taken out of them. It was a tough way to go. They battled back. They were down at times double digits. They ended up tying things up 47 all at the end of the ball game, and then they were outscored 10-5 in the overtime.
Yeah, it's tough to lose. They fought back in that fourth quarter to take that game into overtime, and that takes enough out of you, and then to come out and kind of get punched right in the gut there by that Stryker team. And I know this Bryan and Stryker in this tournament has kind of been a little bit of a rivalry with the girls' matchups. I know they've been close back and forth here the last few years, so not a way you want to lose, but got to come out ready to play tonight.
I think the star last night of this ball game and for the Bryan Golden Bears was Kayla Arnold. 19 or 14 points last night. She averages just under 1 point a game.
Yeah.
Anytime you can come out and basically increase the number of points that you score by 14 times, I think you've done your job.
Yeah, you've done something pretty good. Definitely a spark coming from the Bryan lineup. Somebody that probably wasn't on the scouting report for Stryker last night as a scorer. A little bit of a surprise, especially with all the attention to the minor girl. Really nice for the Bryan Golden Bears to get Arnold going there last night. She
hit a big three late in the basketball game that really started that comeback for them. Kayla basically known for her defense. She's 5'2", she's a sophomore, and she hustles all around the court every night. But to come out and score 14, the same number of points that Allie Miner had last night, you don't get that most evenings from her.
No, and a defensive specialist, sometimes a good offensive game like that, you don't necessarily want her to score 14 a game, but if you can get 5, 6, 7 points a game from her, that's an improvement, especially from somebody who's not known for an offensive threat.
Todd Grosjean came back. This is year number 2 for Todd, and I saw him right before the ball game, and I said, Coach, good game last night, and he kind of looked at me like that with that coach look. You know what you get?
Yep, no moral victories for a coach, but definitely one that you see improvements on, one that you can work with, and of course things you're always going to want to work on, but things you can see starting to click for the Lady Bears.
The thing that I've always said too, especially on the high school side, it really doesn't matter. You talk NBA, they play 82 games and the season starts in the postseason, basically.
Yep.
You need to get into the postseason. For these ladies, they're going to get in the postseason. It doesn't matter whether they're first in their conference or last in their conference. It just is a situation where they need to get good by the time February rolls around.
Yep. You always want to be improvements, and then you want to hit your full stride once the tournament hits, once your last couple league games hit. You really want to be at your top of your game then, and as long as you're always improving game to game in the high school basketball level, that is what matters.
Kennedy Lamberson fouled out of the ball game last night. She didn't play the overtime. She missed quite a bit of the fourth quarter. And the young lady, Dorman from Stryker last night, basically just had almost a career night. She was unstoppable. When you lose your center, your 5'8" sophomore who basically did a pretty decent job against her, it just seemed to open things up in the middle. Tonight she's going to have to find a way to stay in this ball game because this Paulding team has some size to it.
Yeah, we were talking before we went on. This Paulding team is a team that has size and knows how to get to the rim. So Kennedy Lamberson's going to have to do a good job of standing straight up, getting her arms up, not bending down, and really have to watch it, especially if she gets in foul trouble early. It could hurt this Bears team.
Really could. You kind of wonder the focus and the mental attitude right now. You're just about ready to go into the New Year's holiday. You lost the big game last night. You're in your tournament. You're playing in the consolation game. You wonder whether they're going to show up tonight with a fire that they really need to win this thing.
Yeah, definitely. Last night you saw a fire from both teams, and you expect it the next game to see fire from both teams being the championship game, but tomorrow being New Year's Eve, what are we going to be doing with our friends? Is this game the most important thing to these players right now? And I think it will be. A lot of the times, a lot of players can just clear their minds, get focused these last few hours before the game, and sometimes they want to come out and prove that last night was a fluke and they shouldn't have lost and they shouldn't be here in this consolation game, so maybe they'll come right out with a good first quarter and start with a little fire.
On the other side of the ledger here tonight, the Paulding Panthers went down 40-30. They had some problem because the folks that we're talking about, Faith Vogel, who's a 6-foot-tall senior who was second-team NWC last year, who's averaging about 12 points a night and about 10 rebounds. She had 2 personal fouls in the first 4 minutes of the ball game, and it really strapped her.
Yeah, it hurts anytime you get a starter in foul trouble, but definitely when it's your 6-foot senior in foul trouble, all league honors, and you're probably your leading scorer. It never is a good thing to have a girl like that go down early. So she's got the same thing with Kennedy Lamberson. She's got to do the same thing. Stay big and tall, show your hands high, and keep yourself out of foul trouble early so you give your team a chance in this one.
And the other side of that equation, Audrey Manns, who's a 5'7" junior guard, also picked up 2 fouls in that first quarter. Both those young ladies really missed the entire second quarter. Manns came in just a little bit in the third quarter. It was midway through the third quarter before Faith Vogel got back on the floor. Now, one young lady that we had troubles with last night, number 4, Sydney McCullough. Okay, Chris and I could not find her name. We could not find her number last night in any of the rosters. She is actually the little sister to Skylar McCullough, who is a 5'6" senior, and she will actually get the start tonight. So this young freshman played pretty well last night, made a name for herself, and Coach Rhodes basically said tonight we're going to start her. So that's exactly where she's at tonight. It'll be a good night for her as a freshman.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Always exciting for those freshmen.
We're going to step away here for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups and get ready for basketball here in Bryan. Back here at Bryan High School tonight, Jim Funderburg along with Clay Parrish. And we're getting ready for the starting lineups here as we get ready for the consolation game here for the Bryan Holiday Tournament. Tonight for the Paulding Panthers, they will start number 11, Faith Vogel at center. She's a 6-foot senior. The guards will be the sisters, Sydney McCullough, who is a 5'2" freshman, along with Skylar McCullough, who is a 5'6" senior. And the forwards tonight, Allison Aaron will start. She's 5'8", and she's a senior. And also Bree Towney, who's 5'10" and a sophomore. So Clay, a pretty formidable lineup when you look at the size of this young ladies from Paulding.
Yeah, some size, some youth there, freshman and sophomore, but played well last night, so giving them a chance to start tonight. And but a couple seniors there too, so you rely on them for the leadership.
And on the Bryan side tonight, they will start the 5 that starts most nights for them. Delaney Miley, the 5'6" senior, and Kayla Arnold, the 5'2" sophomores, will be the guards. Allie Miner and Bailey Krupp will be the forwards. Miner is a 5'6" junior. Krupp is a 5'7" sophomore. And in the pivot tonight, Kennedy Lamberson, who is a 5'8" sophomore. So when you take a look at these two lineups and when you see them here as they get introduced and will stand out there on the floor next to one another, definitely the height advantage as we start this thing off tonight, Clay, is going to go to the visiting team from Paulding.
Yeah, and I think they need to take advantage of that early. Look inside, go to your bigs, and make sure that Bryan's boxing out. Make sure to crash the rebound, see if you can get an advantage there.
Last night, it was a ball game that was really an interesting game there for the Paulding Panthers. They were down most of the night. As we said, Faith Vogel was out for the vast majority of that basketball game. When she came in the fourth quarter, Clay, she hit 6 points and started a little comeback, a mini comeback here against the Fairview team, but just not enough and a little bit too late for that whole process, and they fall 40-30 in regulation.
Yep, a little too late there. Make sure you got to stay out of foul trouble now. This is a good game, a good chance for them to beat the Bryan Golden Bears here.
Well, it should be a fun game. The thing that I'm going to look for here tonight is the guard play, because if the Bears are going to win this ball game tonight, Clay, I think it's going to have to be the pressure and the defense and the hustle, because I think Paulding a little bigger, but not quite as quick as the Bears.
Not at all.
Tip is controlled by Faith Vogel, and it goes back to Aaron in the backcourt, and she'll bring it to the front court on the left side. Swings it down to McCullough on the left wing, and then back out front to her sister. Back inside, they'll go with Bree Towney, and they'll throw back out to McCullough, who'll take the jump shot from the left wing. Vogel will pull down the rebound. The putback is good, and the first points go to the ladies from Paulding. nice start there for Paulding. I think that's what you're going to want to see out of them tonight. They want to take that ball down inside, as you said, Clay, and try to score in the post.
Yep. Punish Bryan if they're not going to box those big girls out.
Bears will spread everything out, 4 on all the perimeters. They'll take the first jump shot of the night, no good, but the rebound comes back to the Bears. Put back up by Lamberson, no good, and the rebound again comes off to Paulding. So the Bears have had their opportunity. They've taken 2 shots, missed both of them, and the Paulding Panthers have the basketball and the lead very early here, 2-0. A little difficulty by McCullough, and Minor right there to pick it up, kicks it out to Krupp. Krupp with a layup on the other end, and it's 2-2. Nice job by the Bears, and again, there's the pressure I was talking about, Clay. Exactly. Allie Minor is really tough, and she looks like she's really focused in this ball game tonight.
Yeah, I think she's playing with a little chip on her shoulder from last night.
Aaron has some real pressure on her in on the left corner right now, as Kayla Arner is going to actually get the 5-second call.
Good defense.
Or no, we got a timeout.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought Mike Bum was calling 5 seconds. She had him kind of pinned over there on the sideline instead. The coach, Mark Rhodes from Paulding, actually calling the timeout before that could happen, and wanted to get the girls over here and talk to them. You know, that's the one thing. Rhodes coming back in year number 2, Clay, and it's a situation here where he told me before the ball game that he really didn't expect to get back into coaching, but was kind of volunteered, and the flame is there. I don't think you can be 100 years old. If you're a coach, you're a coach.
Yep. If you're a coach growing up and you have that fire, and you're always going to want to coach. I know what it means.
He was talking to a guy probably about my age, because Rhodes probably 15 to 20 years my junior, and they were talking about how they were going to get rid of different things, and that was maybe they did get the turnover with that, because the Bears do have the basketball right now and the timeout called afterwards.
Okay.
So that makes a lot more sense there for me.
Yes.
Lamberson kicks out to Miley, over to Minor, down in the corner now to Arnold, and Arnold will drive the baseline, bounce the basketball out to Lamberson, drives the lane, and has the ball knocked away.
Good defense there by the Panthers.
Again, that difficulty to get inside, as Bree Towney was the one that blocked that shot. Aaron brings the ball up court, and Minor says, "Thank you very much. I'm going coast to coast." The lay-in is good, and the Bears have the first lead here of the night, 4-2. For Minor, that's 2 points now. And I'll tell you what, Allie Minor looks like tonight they won't have the talent that the striker had last evening, which really kind of slowed her down. I think the talent that the striker will bring on the floor later, you're going to see. They were able to go pretty much man-to-man with her most of the night, but then anytime that she drove to the lane, there was 2 and 3 people in front of her, Clay.
Yep, they had her on the scouting report, and that's what you got to do when you're playing against somebody averaging 18 a game.
McCullough brings it in and tossed to her sister, then down to Vogel, who loses it, but it's saved to the Bryan Golden Bears, and it's Arnold with the basketball, and she wanted to pick it up and pass it, and the person she wanted to pass it to all of a sudden was covered up, so she just picked it up and took a couple steps, and the ball will go back over to the Paulding Panthers.
Right idea looking up the floor, just need a jump stop maybe.
Again, you have a hard time, I have a hard time believing and remembering that some of these young ladies, they're sophomores, they're 14 years old, and as we say that, the lay-in for Bree Towney makes it now a 4-4 basketball game, as that ball being fed down to that low post, and I would believe that that's what Coach Rhodes is going to do here the rest of the night. Lamberson drives the baseline, then kicks to Arnold. They'll move it and swing it around to the left side, and Minor will take the jump shot, no good. Miley pulls down the rebound, feeds it back out to Minor again. She misses again. Lamberson pulls down the rebound. Now she's on the floor, and we have a whistle and a timeout by Coach Grosjean. So before we could get the jump ball or the travel, both coaches pretty quick with pulling the trigger on those first timeouts. 30-second timeout, we'll keep it right here. So far, Clay, I think it's playing out the way we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Paulding's going to go inside, and I don't blame him. And Bryan using that defense and that speed to get the ball up the floor. So got to work on penetrating that zone defense. I know they saw man last night, but Paulding's going to pack in that zone with those big gals, and they're going to make Bryan shoot it.
It was fun to watch Stryker play, and you'll enjoy the next game. Clay's going to do the Fairview Stryker game for you here, as I'll take the opener and let Clay do the nightcap in the championship game. You're going to have your that baptism in fire tonight on BMU, Clay. How's that?
Hey, I like it.
Welcome into WQCT, Q96.5, and also BryanSports.com. The inbound pass goes to Minor again. The jump shot from the left corner is no good, and the rebound comes off to Paulding. And Minor a little bit cold here early. She has one bucket, but it's the steal and the lay-in.
Paulding's lucky there. She's gotten two pretty wide open three-pointers there. You don't want those shots from Allie Minor.
Aaron tries to make the pass. Miley steps in front of it, but she runs out of real estate and steps out of bounds. So the ball will remain with Paulding here. They'll inbounds right at midcourt. 4:31 to play, opening quarter. The ball game tied at 4 here. Good to have you with us in the Bryan Ladies Holiday Tournament here. Consolation game between the Paulding Panthers and the Bryan Golden Bears. Aaron on the right wing tries to feed it inside. It's tipped away by Lamberson, and she picks the basketball up and gives it to Minor. Down across the midcourt stripe to Miley, back to Minor, over the left side to Arnold. Ball swings all the way to the right wing again to Miley, and then back out front to Minor. Bears again looking at that zone, trying to see how they can exploit it a little bit, but that Paulding defense, which is pretty tall, not giving them any openings here at this point in time. The feed pass into the paint gets tipped back outside. Krupp picks that one up and gives it back to Miley, and they'll reset. Miley right top of the three-point circle, kicks it to Minor down the right corner, cross-court pass back out to Arnold at the top left wing, and they'll play pass again. Miley and Arnold kicks it down to Minor in the corner, fakes the shot, drives the baseline, misses the 5 to 10 footer, and Vogel's right there to pick up the rebound. So Allie Minor very cold to open up this ball game. Ball gets thrown inside on the other end to Vogel. The ball hits her in the hands, bounces on the floor, and we've got a reach-in foul on Paulding as they go running for the loose basketball, and the turnover will give the ball back to the Bryan Golden Bears. And Miller will check in. Kelly Miller will come in. Miley will sit down. Krupp will also sit down, and we will bring in, let's see, Jessica Robb as well. So the Bears with the first two substitutions of the night. Vogel also sits down, and Cassidy Posey comes in for the Paulding Panthers. Ball game tied at 4. 3:09 to play first quarter. Low-scoring ball game. Arnold with the fake drives the baseline, runs into traffic, and they'll call her for the travel. Mike Bum down there right on that baseline says she took one too many steps.
Right idea, trying to get it down low, trying to get it to the basket here when jump shots aren't falling. Got to see the ball go through the hoop.
Collapsing on her down on that baseline, though, and I think at 5'2", down with the 6-footers down there, you feel like you're in the middle of the tall trees. Oh, another drag of the foot on the other end. In fact, that was 25, Dava Pesafel, who actually came in. It was not Cassidy Posing. It was 25, not 23. So Pesafel with the turnover, and the ball goes back to the Golden Bears, and both teams having some troubles here getting some early offense going. Cross-court pass goes to Lamberson. She'll drive the lane and then feed it back outside. And they're just having a hard time getting to the rim. That's not something they're accustomed to because the Bears have been pretty good playing that low post game this year. Jump shot for Lamberson from three-point land, no good, and the rebound comes down again to the Paulding Panthers. Cassidy Posey did come in. 23 is on the floor as well. So they swap 2 for 2 just like the Bears did that last time. Pass throws to the corner, and Minor knocks it out of bounds right in front of our buddy Chet Dangler. And it will be Panthers basketball. Inbounds on the side with 2:20 to play in the opening quarter, and the score tied at 4.
One thing you're not going to do against this Bryan team is throw long passes, especially with people like Allie Minor out there just waiting for it.
Besseville trying to find a way to lob that ball inside, will not. Then she decides to drive, runs down to the right block, runs out of real estate, feeds it off to the center. They kick it around the horn a little bit. The ball comes over to Posey, and Posey is able to help. In fact, that's 45, not 23. It's Bree Towney that knocks that in. Those numbers, I kind of like the younger McCullough's jersey. It's white letters instead of black on that purple, Clay.
Yeah, it's tough to see those black numbers on that Paulding jersey.
Bears again trying to work their offense from the perimeter. Minor from the left three-point line. Drives this time and finds an opening, and the lay-in is good, and it's tied up again at 6 for Minor. That's 4 points now on the evening. Minute and 26 to play here in the opening quarter of the girls' holiday tournament. The feed goes down to the right block, and the turnaround lay-in is good. And again, the Bears getting eaten up on that bottom, on that low block, as Cassidy Posey has her second bucket since she came in off the bench. In fact, they've got her down for 1. I find that was the second time she knocked that down, but that's okay. Arnold goes along the baseline. She's trapped underneath the bucket, tries to get it out. Instead, she steps on the end line, and the ball will go over again to the Paulding Panthers. So the Panthers are up 8-6. 57 seconds left to go in a very quick first quarter. No stoppage here, Clay.
Yeah, no stoppage, and Paulding, I think all 8 points have came from the inside. They are feeding the post, and that's what they know they can do.
They'll bring the basketball up. It's McCullough. She'll end up on the right wing and has her pocket picked by Allie Minor. Didn't see her coming. Came from behind, took it away, goes end to end, puts it up off the glass, hits it right in the square, and it's another bucket for Allie Minor. That's 6 for her. Minor able to get things going a little bit early here tonight, and I'll tell you what, I think that's something the Coach Grosjean wants to see. You get that basketball, you head it to the other end as hard, as fast as you possibly can. Kick again goes down inside. The shot's missed, but the rebound again claimed by Cassidy Posey, and so she misses her first shot, rebounds it, and puts it back in, and it's 10-8 now. Paulding with 16 seconds left. The Bears will hang on to this one for the last shot. Martin with the right side in the corner, and she throws down the three-pointer. Just as I said, they're going to wait for a while. Martin revs it up and knocks it down, and it's 11-10 Bears. Buzzer shot at the last second here of the first quarter is no good by Paulding, and we'll go into the second quarter with the Bears up 11-10. We'll take a timeout and be back to Bryan after this. Back here, Bryan High School, Jim Funderburg and Clay Parrish as we're ready to start quarter number 2. Bears on top 11-10 as we set that clock back up to 8 minutes, and the Bears will have the possession. Miller will inbound to Minor, and she'll bring it to the front court. Minor scored most of her points off the fast breaks, though, tonight, Clay, and you'd like to see that.
Yep. You got to get her going, and she's at her best when they're playing fast break basketball.
Minor with a nice drive to the free throw line, and then the bounce pass underneath to Lamberson, who lays it in. The Bears now up 13-10, the biggest lead by either team here early in this basketball game. Paulding with the ball. Aaron with the basketball on the right wing. Sets up, and she's got Miller all over her. Looking for some help. Kicks the ball into Kaylin Hale, and the ball gets knocked away from Hale, and the Bears have the basketball. Martin goes the other end, takes a shot, no good, and the rebound comes off to Percival. So the Bears' shooting percentage not probably all that good for really either one of these teams right now, but at the same time, both these basketball teams trying to find their way here early. Jump shot missed everything, and the Bears will pull down the rebound.
If the Bears aren't getting up and going, they're struggling on offense. I mean, most of their points have came in transition, and if Paulding gets back and sets their defense, they're doing a really good job.
Lamberson lost the basketball out of bounds, but was tipped by Paulding, so the Bears will inbounds right in front of the Paulding bench. Miller will kick it into the corner there to Schindeldecker, who had checked in there to start the second quarter. So they've gone to a little bit more size at this point in time. The ball goes into the lane with Krupp, and a whistle and a push on Paulding. Will send the ball to the baseline there to be inbounds by the Bears. 2 team fouls now on Paulding. That's the first on 22, Kaylin Hale. Kick goes to Miller in the left corner. She shoots a 3, no good, but the rebound comes off to the Bears. And it's Minor tries to drive, gets cut off. And Percival, I think, took a little bit of an elbow right to the head as Minor was trying to find that lane and looking for that layup. Bears will inbounds right underneath their own basket with 6.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Long pass comes back to Minor, who gives it right back to Lamberson, who throws up the 3 from the right corner. No good, but Krupp pulls it down, kicks out to Martin. Her 3-point shot hits nothing but glass, and the rebound comes off to the Paulding Panthers. McCullough will bring it into the front court. the freshman with the left hand all the way down the lane, and I think she's going to be called for traveling. She was looking for a little bit of a block, I think, as she tried to cut between two Golden Bears. The officials basically saw it as a travel instead of a block, and the ball will be turned over to the Bears.
Yeah, I like the ambition, trying to get to the middle there and hoping maybe somebody slides over, maybe get a dump pass, but got to keep going inside, no doubt.
Miley comes back into the ball game, and Delaney has the basketball, brings it up into the front court and kicks it to Lamberson. Lamberson tries to get it to Krupp inside, but the ball is kicked out of bounds, and it will be Bryan basketball. They'll inbound right in front of the Paulding bench. Paulding didn't bring all the players tonight. Last night they had a full bench. Tonight they've got only 4 subs sitting on that bench. Miller swings it into the corner. Lamberson takes the shot for 3. No good. The rebound comes out long, and it's rebounded by Paulding's Allison Ankney. Aaron has the basketball, and she's going to be called for the double dribble.
Yeah. Right idea. They were looking up the floor trying to get a quick bucket, but Aaron's not looking necessarily comfortable with the ball in transition there.
One thing I noticed about Paulding, Clay, was the bigs are solid. The guards have a little problem handling the basketball. Have you seen the same thing tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not something a problem you want to have. You want to be able to get those guards to get good, quick passes down low when you have those big girls in there.
Bears tried an entry pass into Lamberson, who is fouled immediately, and they will have the basketball. It's the second foul now on Kaylin Hale, and we'll get massive substitutions for Paulding right now. In comes Bree Towney. Asia Arellano is also in, 32. And there's one more person out there that I'm going to have to figure out who that was. I think it was Skylar McCullough that came back out on that bench, along with Aaron Still and along with Posey. Jump shot for the Bears, and this one catches nothing but cords going through. And that's a 3-point shot for Alyssa Schittledecker. And Schittledecker has her first points of the night, and it's a triple. And the Bears now up 16-10 with 5:17 to play here in this second quarter. Jump shot from the left side of the lane goes in, and that is 45 Bree Towney for Paulding, and it's 16-12. So Paulding not one to lose any kind of contact here. Minor drives the other end, drives the lane, has the ball blocked and knocked out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Bears with 4:59 to play here in the second quarter. And they'll inbounds right underneath the bucket. It would be Miley to throw it in. Bounces it to Minor. She'll take a 3-point shot from the right side, and it's no good, but the rebound does come off to Schittledecker for Bryan, who kicks the basketball into 32 Lamberson, who takes the shot from about 8 feet in the lane, and it's wide right, and the rebound comes off again to Posey for Paulding. Aaron will bring into the front court. She'll get fouled by Miley as she comes across, a little hack on the wrist. And with that, in the stoppage of play, we'll bring Deitch back onto the floor. She'll come in for Krupp. And also Arnold will come in and replace Schittledecker. And Paulding will inbounds again right in front of our buddy Chet on the home side. Ball goes into Aaron's in the backcourt. She'll bring it to the front court. She has Miley all over her. Down the right baseline, she gets double teamed and stopped. Looking for a place to go, has no place to go, so she fires it off of Deitch's knee and out of bounds, and the ball will stay with Paulding, and they'll inbounds to the left of their basket.
Golden Bears doing a really good job on defense, keeping those guards in front of them, and it's causing problems. Paulding not finding a good way to get the ball inside, and that's where their successes came early in this game.
Vogel checks back in for Paulding along with Sydney McCullough. And they will sit down Aaron and also Cassidy Posey. He goes down to the right block to the new center, Bree Towney, and Towney makes a little spin move with a hook shot into the lane. Shot's no good, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the free throw to shoot a couple. That'll go against number 12, Kayla Arnold. That's her first, team foul number 2. Neither team really in any kind of threat for the bonus right now, Clay.
Both teams doing a really good job keeping their ground, but staying straight up, not reaching for those guards, doing a really good job on defense. It's been a clean game so far.
Towney hits the first one. Bears will substitute Lamberson back in, and Miley will take a seat, so they'll go a little bit bigger here by bringing Lamberson back into the ball game. 4:22 to play here, second quarter. Bears up 16-13 here on the Bryan Holiday Tournament Network. Second one also good. and now it's a 2-point game, 16-14. And that is 8 points already tonight for Bree Towney. So without Towney right now, this would be kind of a runaway.
Yeah, absolutely. Towney doing a really good job getting looks inside and finishing when she is in there.
Miley makes a move, then stops. Kicks out to Kayla Arnold just inside the 3-point line on the left side. Shot no good. Vogel's right there to clean up the backboard. One and done. Paulding brings it into the front court. Kicks it down to Pessiville. She'll drive the lane, then kick out to Vogel.
Good move.
Vogel, a little head fake underneath the Golden Bear, off the glass. We've got a 16-16 tie with 3:46 to play here in the first half of basketball. Yeah, I'll tell you again, that height, you just have a hard time. And the Bears, both the boys and the girls, both have that problem right now. They don't really have that good size that some of these teams bring in on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's hard. If your guards aren't hitting shots, like the Lady Bears really haven't hit many shots tonight, it's going to be tough when you're playing against these bigger teams.
Miner drives the lane as she tries to scoop that ball up off the glass. She's fouled. Ball ends up a little bit short. She'll go to the free throw line, and that will be the second foul again on Faith Vogel. So Vogel, at least tonight, makes it into the midway point of the second quarter before she gets that second foul.
They've had her out most of that end of the first quarter there, and most of that second quarter. Now she's going back out. I think they're trying to prevent middle of the game lapse there.
Miner missed the first one, missed the second one. I'll tell you what, Allie Miner shoots 80+% from the free throw line, and she missed both of those, so the game stays tied with 3:23 to play here in the first half. Basketball goes into the corner, and the pass trying to get it into the lane to the big guy from McCullough gets tipped away. Bears have it. Miner goes the length of the floor, ducks underneath McCullough, and lays it off the glass for an easy two. It's now 18-16 Bears with 3 minutes to play here in this first half. Lob pass goes down to Towney, but she can't hang on to it. But Cassidy Posey picks it up and pulls it back outside and throws it out to Skylar McCullough. McCullough tosses it to her sister Sydney, who gives it up right away to Bree Towney. And a traveling call as Cassidy Posey tries to work down the lane to get to the rim. Extra step taken. Turnover goes to the Bears. And with 2:44 to play here in the first half, the Bears will have an opportunity to open up this lead just a little bit bigger, 18-16. What do you think, Clay? A little hangover from last night for the Bears. They don't seem to be quite as sharp as what they were last night.
Well, they're definitely playing hard. Defensively, that's where they're getting all their points. They're getting some steals and getting up the floor. They just are not hitting many shots. I know they have the 1-3, but outside of that, not hitting free throws, not hitting jump shots. So I don't know if that's, a hangover from last night, or if that's just sometimes you just go cold. There's another missed shot. They're just not getting those jump shots to fall.
Miner got her way into the lane, and about a 10-footer hits the front of the iron, and the rebound comes off to Paulding. They move it all the way down the other side, but Percival takes that third step, and she's traveled, whistled for the traveling. They'll head the other direction.
Yeah, got to look maybe for a jump shot there, and I don't know how comfortable she is shooting the ball, but she had a good look at a three-pointer there, maybe a one dribble, jump shot.
Yeah.
A good look. Maybe think for yourself there a little bit, not try to be the best teammate. Try to be a little selfish.
Every now and then you have to be, don't you?
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Miner will sit down. Bailey Krupp will come onto the floor for the Bears, and Krupp has the basketball on the right side of the wing. Gives it up, and Arnold now on the other side of the floor on the left side. Bounces it to Miller on the left corner. She's double-teamed immediately. Gets rid of the basketball to Deach. They swing it back to Arnold at the top of the key, and we have a timeout. Grostein says he's not happy with the way this is all progressing. He wants to talk about it. Minute 40 to play here in the first half. We'll step away from Bryan. Ball game 18-16. Bears. And we're back here at Bryan High School. The main stop scoreboard shows at 18-16. Bryan on top with a minute and 38 to play here in the first half. Clay, I'll tell you what, it's been an interesting first half of basketball at least, huh?
Yeah, some fire out of this Paulding Panthers team. They're getting the ball inside. They're playing tough. Really taking it to them on the inside there, so it's been exciting.
Krupp takes the shot from the right wing, no good. The rebound comes off to the Bears, and they'll pull it back outside, and Arnold will try to reset everything. She'll dribble to the top of the key and then get rid of it to Miller, who gives it right back to Arnold again. They'll play pass right to left. Down in the left corner to Lamberson, and a wide three-point shot, no good. And again, Paulding's going to give it right back to him, and again, it happens to be Davin Pessiful who just can't handle the basketball all the way up into the front court, kicks it off of her knee. It goes out of bounds, Clay, and that's about the third time in a row she's done that.
I have that as 10 turnovers now for Paulding, down 2 points with 10 turnovers.
Wow.
I mean, clean some of that up, and you're talking about a lead.
Yeah, you're up 5-6 points at least at this point in time. 58 seconds of the Bears are in no hurry right now. They try to entry pass into Deach. It gets kicked away by McCullough, who sits down on the floor at the midcourt stripe and picks the basketball up and gets it to her sister. Paulding with the basketball. McCullough will take the jump shot from the free throw line. It's no good, but again, Paulding with the rebound.
A lot of offensive rebounds for Paulding.
Yeah, no doubt. Bree Towney was the young lady that pulled that one in. Back outside to McCullough again. This is Skyler. Skyler kicks it over to Sydney McCullough to the right wing, and then she'll bring it back out to the midcourt stripe. And she'll dribble. She's got Martin on her right at this point in time, or Miller on her at this point. Kicks it to her sister in the right corner, who tries to feed it into the center, and Deach is right there to scoop it up for the Golden Bears. 11 seconds left to go. The Bears will have the last shot, it looks like, in the quarter, and they've got a 2-point lead. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2. Lamberson takes the shot from the right side, and she's going to get fouled. With 0.6 of a second left to go in the first half, Cassidy Posey will pick up the foul. It'll be a shooting foul. It'll send Lamberson to the free throw line to shoot a couple with 0.6 of a second to go here in this first half.
That's a tough one, especially as poorly as the Bears are shooting. You don't want to give them any more chances, and you have them shooting a jump shot.
Lamberson makes the first one. That makes it a 19-16 lead here on the main stop scoreboard. And for Lamberson tonight, that's 3 points.
She struggled shooting. I know she's taking a lot of long jump shots.
Second one will hit the front of the iron, the back of the iron, the backboard, gets the left and the right side and fall in. And with the buzzer sounding at halftime, it is 20-16. The Bears on top here at the Golden Bear Holiday Tournament. We'll step away. When we come back, we'll get some halftime stats and do a little chatter. It's 20-16. Bears on top on the main stop scoreboard. High School, back here, Bryan High School, Jim Funderburg along with Clay Parrish here at halftime, and the main stop scoreboard has the Bears up 20-16, really much on pace with the game that Paulding played last night, which was a 40-30 game, not the ball game that the Bears played, which was in the 50s. So, we're playing on the lower end, but Clay, as you pointed out a couple times, Bears just kind of cold tonight. Really
cold shooting the ball, and that second quarter didn't go at the rim enough, and I think they need to maybe pick up a little pressure because that is where they're at their best, steals, transition. So maybe some more pressure on the defensive end for the Bears.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been an interesting ball game, and I know, as we talked about earlier, Bears, I don't think, expected to be here tonight in the consolation games. Your floor, your tournament. Nobody else has had an opportunity to play on this floor before except us, and you really would expect that you would have a bit of an advantage here tonight, or last night, I guess, huh? Yeah,
I didn't even take into account the new gym. They've practiced here. They're the only people that have played here in this tournament, so maybe you thought an advantage, and at least a shooting advantage.
Sure.
Rims are different in every gym, so the shooters say.
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't much of a shooter back in my day, but that's okay. But I was amazed last night, Clay, when we were watching these ladies come in, and I understand it's a high school game, but basically everybody showed up just about ready to hit the warm-ups and go. Okay, it wasn't like they were here real early last night. It wasn't a situation last night where anybody came out. In fact, last night Paulding didn't even come out at halftime, even though they were trailing, and try to shoot a little bit more. I mean, Stryker came out earlier. I mean, they came out early in that halftime period and tried to get a little better feel of this floor. And so did Fairview. Paulding stayed in the locker room the entire time.
Well, some coaches think more shots will help. Others think more X's and O's will help.
Yep. So that's kind of the way that it goes. Well, let's take a look at some of the stats here from that first half. How's that?
Sounds good. Shooting-wise, we have, for the Paulding Panthers, Bree Towney leading the way with 8 points. A couple of free throws knocked down, and they've really fed the ball inside to her. Cassidy Posey, another one of the big gals from Paulding, 4 points there, and 4 points for the other big gal, Faith Vogel, who has 2 fouls, along with Kaylin Hale for the Paulding Panthers. Those are the only 2 ladies in foul trouble. That totals for 16 there. And for the Bryan Lady Golden Bears, a 3-pointer from Schindeldecker, a 3-pointer from Miller, and other than that, mostly layups. Minor with 8 points, Krupp with 2, and Lamberson with 4. Lamberson struggling from the field, shooting a lot of jump shots. I think she needs to go inside, and I don't see Paulding boxing out that well, so you kind of need to crash the offensive board. And on the defensive end, the Golden Bears really need to get a body on somebody because Paulding has scored way too many second chance points.
Offensive boards obviously been totally controlled by Paulding, and you're right. And I would have to believe that that's exactly what the coach was talking about here at halftime. And the Bears already out on the floor now trying to do some shooting, get some things going, because they've got a situation right now where I would think that Coach Grosjean would like to see him pick up the pace just a little bit here in quarter number 3 and take advantage of that speed that they have over this Paulding basketball team.
Yeah, and it sounds from last night that's what Bryan did well, was speed the game up a little bit, make it a little sloppier, and if you can get, Paulding has already turned the ball over 11 times, maybe get some full court pressure. You got those quick guards from Bryan that do a fantastic job keeping their player in front of them, not reaching, and let the other team make the mistake. You just be the spot you need to be. 11 first half turnovers for the Paulding Panthers, not good. Only being down 4 points, you're blessed with that many turnovers against this Lady Bears team.
Yeah, you really are. Well, we're at halftime here at the Girls Holiday Tournament in Bryan. The Bears are on top on the main stop scoreboard, 20-16. We'll step away. When we come back, we'll get ready for that third quarter right after this. Back here at Bryan, Jim Funderburg along with Clay Parrish as we're ready to start the third quarter, and the Paulding Panthers will have the basketball as they get started. Sydney McCullough with the basketball right now. Good to have you with us here on Q96.5 FM or BryanSports.com. Ball gets kicked around underneath, and Paulding with the loose basketball, and the putback is Bree Towney as they will start back with their original starting 5. Minor in a hurry on the other end, goes coast to coast for an easy 2. It is McCullough, Aaron, McCullough, Towney, and Vogel as the Paulding Panthers turn it over again. And here comes Minor. Kicks over to the left side to Lamberson, who misses the layup, but the rebound comes off to Krupp, who gives it back out to Minor. Tries a shot from the right side off the bank, no good. Lamberson pulls down the rebound, but she loses that basketball to Cassidy Posey, who actually started here in this second half. It'll be Delaney Miley, Kayla Arnold, Allie Minor, Bailey Krupp, and Kennedy Lamberson as the Panthers turn it over again, and Lamberson comes down to the bucket, loses the handle, loses her footing, turns it over. Quick pass to the other end. McCullough tries to take it up to the bucket, and Allie Minor's right there to say no thank you, take that weak stuff out to the garage. Knocks it out of bounds. It will be Paulding basketball underneath their bucket here as we get things going in quarter number 3. Good to have you with us tonight. If you're on BryanSports.com, you're watching full video this evening. If you're on Q96.5 FM, Clay Parrish and I trying to bring you the best description that we can give you of this basketball game without pictures. The inbounds pass and the turnaround jump shot is good for Cassidy Posey. And again, Clay, they're starting to take advantage of that height inside.
Got to keep going inside if you're Paulding. It's working. They haven't stopped it yet.
22-20 on the main stop scoreboard as the Bears cling to a 2-point lead. 6.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Of course, we got the championship game coming up here. Entry pass is picked off by McCullough. She brings it down, dishes it off to her sister, who goes inside the paint. And as she spins around, the grab by Arnold, I believe.
Yep, they got Arnold. Oh, no, Kelly Miller.
Yep, they got Miller on that foul. In fact, both of them down there. In fact, there were 3 white jerseys. You could almost take your pick. Yep. They said Miller was the one that they saw. They'll give Miller her first foul of the night, and Paulding will inbounds on their baseline. And a 5-second call as they weren't able to get it in. That has been the one strength of the Bears last night and tonight. That defense has been pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. And there they knew, hey, Paulding's going to keep going inside. If they're going to get the ball in, let's throw it out. Let's make them throw it out.
So Miley will bring it into the front court. She'll give it off to Arnold. Arnold will drive at the top of the key and then give it off to Miller on the right side, back to Arnold on the left side. And they were looking for something to deal with against this zone that Paulding is playing. And just like that, Coach Grosjean says, well, we're not figuring this thing out. We need to chat. He calls a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with him. 5:54 to play third quarter. Bears are up 22-20 on the main stop scoreboard here at the Bryan Holiday Tournament.
Quarterback's name, and you need to know the running backs and a couple receivers.
Exactly. As we're back here at Bryan, Clay Parrish and Jim Funderburg tonight. 5:52 to go in this third quarter. And the Bears, after the timeout, will inbounds right in front of their bench. They're waiting on the Paulding Panthers to come out on the floor. And the Golden Bears with a 2-point lead, and I'm sure Coach Grosjean had some sort of correction because the Bears just looked like they were hopeless with that zone play. Nobody was cutting, nobody was moving.
Yep, Paulding's going to stick in that zone, and Bryan needs to work and get the ball to the middle. Nobody in the middle of the floor looking for the ball right now.
Miner hands it off to Arnold, and Arnold takes a step down into the paint, and then she kicks it back out to Miner, who sends it right back down to Krupp on the right block, and Krupp turns around, lays it in. 24-20 now. The Bears on top with 5.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Paulding goes again down inside. It goes to Posey. Posey turns around, won't get it to go. Ball gets kicked out of bounds by the Bears, so the Panthers will hang on to that one. Well, I'll tell you, that was just a dead-on look right there. Posey's made most of those tonight.
Yeah, yep, got lucky there if you're Bryan. She got a wide-open bunny shot there and couldn't connect.
Had Krupp on her back, on her hip, but still, Krupp give it up about 3 inches to Posey. And that becomes a bit of a problem. And Krupp is a sophomore, still really feeling her way. But I like the way that young lady plays. She's going to be a good one.
She's going to play hard. She's playing hard so far and really working down low, especially being undersized.
No doubt about that. Skylar McCullough with the basketball. Tries to get it to her sister. Miley's there to take it away. She'll go end-to-end. She gets the lay-in and the harm. It's Aaron who was fouling. And Aaron was the young lady who fouled Miley as she laid that basketball in. And again, the speed for Bryan, they get down that floor just a step ahead of everybody in a purple jersey.
They are quick. They're cat quick, and they're not taking advantage of it enough. They need to keep pressuring that basketball.
And I'm sure that's what Coach was telling them on the sideline. Miley makes the bucket, completes the three-point effort. That was foul number 1 against Allison Aaron. Paulding on the other side. McCullough goes into the lane, into the traffic, and she kicks it out to Aaron, who takes a jump shot, no good. Miner with the rebound, long outlet pass to Miley, and there's the easy bucket, and that's exactly Bryan's game.
That's what Bryan wants to do.
Speed, man. As soon as you get that ball, you're off to the races. And a timeout's going to be called by Paulding here. I think they are now going to try to figure out how to slow that down just a little bit. So with 4:38 to play in the third quarter, and the Bears on top 29-20 on the main stop scoreboard, we'll just keep it here. It's a 30-second timeout, so we're just going to keep it right here. I think that was probably a good timeout, Clay, because the Bears, after their timeout, all of a sudden got in that running mood.
Yep. Good timeout. Kind of stop before all the wheels fall off here for Paulding. Oh, still only 9 points. Still plenty of time left. But you don't want Bryan's a team that is a momentum type of team, and you don't want to give them any more momentum than they already have.
That's for sure. So the Bears will try to keep this pace up, I'm sure, and Paulding and their coach Mark Rhodes, who's in his second year, will try to slow this down and probably pound it down inside as they will bring Vogel off the bench again. So now they're going with all the bigs. They've got Vogel, and they have Bree Towney. Vogel with the basketball, tries to kick that ball into Towney, and Miner takes it away from her. And here we go. It's a track meet again. Miner down the right side, a little bit of a bump, and they're going to get her for a foul. Boy, I tell you, again, there's that time where Miss Miner needs to learn how to pass that basketball off. It was 3-on-1 coming down down that floor.
Yep, she had an easy dump off, and a good call. I think she kind of extended the off arm there.
Yep.
So she really needs to notice that when that defense steps up, quick dump off, quick bucket.
Had Lamberson and Miley on the left side of that lane, and she's coming down the right side. If she just stopped about midway and made a pass to either one of those other two, they had an easy lay-in. Instead, the offensive foul gives the ball back to Paulding, and Vogel will make them pay for it as she spins and turns on the right block and knocks it off the glass. 6 points now for Vogel on the night, 29-22. It's a 7-point cushion for the Bears. Minor will bring it into the front court. Passes it off to Miley on the right side. Back over to Lamberson, who will drive in and then kick back out to Minor for that three-point shot. And finally, Allie Minor has the distance on that shot from the left corner, and it's 32-22. 10-point lead now, the biggest of the night. The Bears now showing some pressure in the backcourt. McCullough is open, dishes off to Vogel, who looked like she took about 4 steps. Got away with it, lays the ball in. It's 32-24, and that's 8 points now for Vogel. Right in front of our buddy Mike Bum, who just said, that looks like a good NBA lay-in right there. I think Bum thought he was doing the Cavs game.
2.5 steps, maybe, I don't know.
No big deal. Minor with the basketball on the out front on the left side, tries to feed it inside to Lamberson, and Vogel steps in front of her, takes that basketball away, and then Minor commits the foul on the other end.
2 now on Allie Minor.
Dava Pesafel in the basketball game here for the Lady Panthers, and she was the young lady that was fouled. For the Bears now, that is 3 team fouls. And the ball will be inbounds to Aaron. Aaron tries to cut between 2 Bryan Golden Bears, and she will have a foul called, I believe, on Deach. Yep. Nope, it's going to go against Miley, actually.
2 on her now.
So Delaney Miley with the foul. That's team foul number 4 on the Bears. Percival inbounds. Ball goes to Aarons. Top of the key. Between that and the midcourt stripe, and they're playing
Good
a little
defense.
Little dribbling reaction there, and basically a nice job by Krupp to get the 5-second call there on Aarons, who really did not do anything but go east and west, no north and south.
Yep. Gotta look to a teammate or look to go to the rim.
She went from one side of the floor to the other as Minor splits a couple of Paulding
Speaking
Panthers
of going to the rim
for the easy lay-in. I'll tell you what, I've not seen a young lady in Northwest Ohio right now that's more fun to watch than Allie Minor when she's really on her game, as the Bears force another turnover. Krupp with a run out. She has an easy left-handed lay-in, and that runs the score up to 36-24 with 2:27 to play, and Paulding will take a timeout this time, and we'll take it with him. Bears on top by 12 here from the Bryan Holiday Tournament. Back here at Bryan High School, Jim Funderburg along with my buddy Clay Parrish here on a Friday night. Clay, the days are all goofed up right now with this holiday, you know what I mean?
Tell me about it. I'm on Christmas break. Everything's just the next day, today and tomorrow. I get mixed up.
Exactly. I don't have a problem with that one. Aaron's in the backcourt. She has Miley on her, gets it in front of Pesaville, who feeds it down to Towney, kicks it back out to McCullough. McCullough tries to drive the lane and then dishes off to Aaron's on the left side. Back to McCullough. They go back into the lane, and we got a jump ball situation. A nice job by Miley to reach in and give a set of hands on that basketball.
Yeah, if you see a big girl, put it down. Then you're going right at it if you're a guard.
The arrow, I think, was pointing Bryan's way, even though it was pointed to Paulding. I think it was not changed from the last possession.
Yep.
And they correct that, and the ball will go back over to Bryan with the turnover. 2:07 to play third quarter. We've got the championship game coming up here from Bryan High School. After this one is done, we'll take a little bit of a break after we do some final stats, and then we'll play a little music and come back and take care of business in the championship game, as we have Fairview and Stryker coming your way here shortly. Krupp takes a shot from the left side, no good, but we have a whistle and a foul on the Bears.
I think they called that one a jump. I think that was
okay.
A jump ball. Yep.
And that will send the ball back Paulding way.
Paulding has not taken very many jump shots tonight. I don't think they've taken a single three-pointer.
Inbounds pass hits McCullough in the hands and then ends up in a Bryan set of hands, and the ball then gets turned right back over to Paulding as Pesafo comes up with the basketball. McCullough on the other end drags a foot. They didn't see that one, but they will find a pushing foul underneath the bucket, and that will go against Vogel, I believe.
3 on Vogel now.
Either way, it was coming back the other direction, but I got to tell you that if I was Coach Rhodes right now, I think I would rather have the travel on my guard than the foul. They've yet to post it on whoever, or maybe they did get that traveling call. I don't know. There it goes. It goes up now. Because he was talking, wasn't happy with that whole situation.
Yep.
And for my money, basically the entry pass should never have counted, because she kind of hit the floor and slid a little bit, and then tossed the ball tried to get the ball into Vogel, who then pushed. Bears had the basketball. Nice job by Percival to get between Miley and Arnold and kick that ball out of bounds. So the Bears will retain possession right in front of Chet Dangler here again. And they will inbounds to the backcourt to Allie Miner. And Miner brings it across the front court and hands it off to Arnold. And Arnold will dribble and spin to the top of the key. Bounce pass to Miller is a little bit strong, and it'll go out of bounds. And that turnover will give the ball back to Paulding with 56 seconds left in the third quarter. This has been a quick game, Clay.
Very quick. Fouls have been low. I don't think there's maybe been 8 free throws taken, but clean game.
Both teams really, and we got a whistle, and we got a blocking foul. And that'll go against 22, Kaylin Hale.
Her third now.
And gives the basketball back to the Bears at the midcourt stripe. Miner will inbounds to Miley, and Miley will bring the ball into the front court. Bears with 3 players down along the baseline, spread on out from left to right. Miner is going to make this play happen as she dribbles and then gives it off to Miller, who kicks it into Lamberson, and it comes back out to Miley on the left side. To Miner on the right, over to Miller, who passed up a jump shot from the right corner. Instead, she kicks it into Lamberson, who misses the layup that was contested, and the rebound comes off to Vogel from Paulding. Vogel with a nice pick, and then the turnover goes to Miley, and Miley to take it coast to coast, leave it a little bit short, and McCullough picks it up off the backboard and sends it the other way. Pesafil into Vogel in the lane at the free throw line. Bounces it down to McCullough inside, but it's stripped away by Miner, and Miner's going to take the last shot as the clock runs out on the third quarter. It hits the backboard, will be no good, and will end 3 with the Bears up 36-24 here at the Bryan Holiday Tournament. 3 down, 1 to play here in the consolation game of the Holiday Tournament here in Bryan for the ladies, and the Bears will have the basketball to open up quarter number 4, and they have a 12-point lead, 36-24, as Miner will take the basketball and bring it into the front court. Miller's down in the right corner, but they won't go that way. They go to Miley on the left wing. Miner now runs over to the left corner and puts up a 3-point shot. No good, and the rebound comes off to McCullough of Paulding. And there's full court pressure by Miller in the backcourt. Bears now looking to maybe add a little pressure and some turnovers and some easy lay-ins, Clay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they've done well here in the second half. They really turned the ball over with that full court pressure, just man-to-man. But, I mean, even just a little bit of pressure has made Paulding, the guard, struggle.
Arellano gives it up into the lane to Bree Towney, and Towney with that little left-hand hook adds her 12th point of the night and brings the Paulding Panthers to within 10 now, 36-26 on the main stop scoreboard. Miley dribbles right side, gives it to Miner. She drives the lane, puts up a shot. It goes in, and I believe she'll get the harm as well. Yep. Mike Bum says, you bet. Little blocking foul as Miner goes by. The foul will go against Sydney McCullough. It will be her first. And Miner will go to the free throw line to try to put up point number 18 here tonight, as she has 17 here. Kind of quiet points here tonight. They were all runners, but to get to 18 all of a sudden.
It really has, yeah. I looked over and, 18 points already.
I'm thinking she might have had 12 or 13, something like that, and she had another handful on that scoreboard. 7 minutes to play in the basketball game. Bears up as Miner knocks the ball away from Paulding, and here she comes on the dead run. Pulls up for about a 10-footer from the right side of the lane, and it's in. And all of a sudden, she was cold early, but all of a sudden she's warmed up. A couple of those lay-ins got her going, Clay.
Yeah, and we talked about, making the right decision. That one, 2-on-2 there, so the right decision to not make the pass to pull up.
Yep, exactly. Well, that young lady is about as good as I've seen around this area at this point in time. She can handle the ball extremely well.
So strong when she gets into the middle and knows whether to go all the way, shoot a runner. Very strong with the basketball, and I would say I haven't watched a ton of girls' basketball games this year, but she is definitely impressive.
No doubt about that. I would agree 100% with you. Inbounds pass comes to Bree Towney. She kicks the ball into McCullough. We thought it was going to be maybe a walking foul, but instead a grab and a hold will be called against the Bears, and that'll go against Deach. That'll be her very first foul. It'll be team foul number 6, so one more, and the Panthers will be shooting free throws here in the fourth quarter. Down 15. Inbounds pass comes to McCullough on the left wing, and she drains it for a 2-point shot. That's her first points of the night, and it makes it 41-28 here on the main stop scoreboard with 6:16 to play.
I think that's the first jump shot that Paulding's hit tonight, too.
Lamberson in the right corner gives it to Miner, who tries to feed it to Deach down low. No good. It's knocked away, and Pessiful will pick up the basketball. She'll swing it over to Towney at the top of the key. They'll kick it down underneath low, and it is... let's see, I got to turn that number around. 22, Kaylin Hale, that gets the bucket, and she's fouled. You know, the other side that I've noticed, whenever you've got a situation like this one, Clay, where the numbers are on the back of the jerseys and you can't really see them, all of them have ponytails.
Yep.
You know?
and when we want them to turn around, they never do. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You've got a situation where you used to say, okay, now so-and-so's got a ponytail and so-and-so's the blonde.
Yep.
Well, we've got now...
Bands.
Yeah, we got 5 girls on the floor right now, all with nice, beautiful, dark brown hair, and all up in ponytails.
Yep.
Makes it a little difficult every now and then when you get, especially when you get a Kaylin Hale in the ball game, has not played an awful lot, and you're looking for that number for her to turn around and see where it's at on her back, because the front you just can't see.
No, not at all.
Those numbers just disappear. Bears with the basketball. They're in the front court. Kick the ball down to the corner to Lamberson. Lamberson with a jump shot. No good, but the rebound by Krupp goes back up. It'll be short, but she's fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. With 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in this basketball game, the Bears with an 11-point lead. It's been as high as 15 here tonight. And Paulding has tried to scrap their way back into this basketball game in the last minute. And the Bears hopeful that they're going to be able to just cruise this one on down to a win in the consolation game. First shot is up and good by Krupp from the free throw line. Miller will come in. Lamberson will sit down. Miley will come in. Miner will sit down.
Miner does have 3 fouls.
I'll tell you what, Coach Grosjean has always been one of my favorites. I think he does a nice job with his team as the second free throw goes in from Bailey Krupp as well. And I know last night was a disappointment to him because he wanted to be playing in this championship game tonight. First time in their new gym, he wanted to be playing for the trophy tonight. Paulding brings the ball up to the midcourt line, and then it gets kicked out of bounds. It'll go back over to the Golden Bears with 5:21 to play.
8th turnover this half for the Paulding Panthers.
That was a problem for them last night as well. And again, I think Coach Rhodes is building some things. He's got a young team. Only has a couple seniors on this basketball team, so he'll have a program that he's starting to put together at Paulding.
And starting a freshman who has played well tonight. Not necessarily a stat stuffer tonight, but played well defensively. She's one of the fewer turnovers of the night. But
Arnold drove the lane, went to put up the layup, and got it swatted back at her by Bree Towney, but she got the basketball, and the Bears can maintain possession. Miller kicks in down to the low post there to Lamberson. Hit her in the hands, but then she also got pushed, and the ball went out of bounds. The foul will be team foul number 5 on Paulding. The hold will go against Kaylin Hale, and the Bears will inbounds to the left of their bucket.
4 fouls on Hale now.
4:49 to play in this basketball game. If you're listening to 96.5 FM, we welcome you in. WQCT 1520 AM and 96.5 FM, or on BryanSports.com, being powered tonight by BMU Cable's Internet, their high-speed internet. And if you're looking for cable internet packages here in Bryan, Ohio, you need to look into the BMU package. Miner goes to put up a shot, and Pessaville comes out and blocks it on her. And I'll tell you what, Miner, I think, was a little shocked by that one, wasn't
yeah,
she, Clay?
she was. I have noticed her jump shot, she takes a little longer, and that's why the defense was able to get out on her. There again, almost.
Miley kicks it over to Miner. This time she's wide open. Pessaville charges on her just a little bit, but she drains that triple with that. She has 23 points now on the night and leads all scorers here in the consolation game. Good hands by Miley by the Bears as the Panthers pull the ball into the front court. Ball goes rolling down the middle of the lane, gets grabbed by both sides. We have a jump ball situation. The arrow pointing towards Paulding, and it will stay with the Paulding Panthers, and they'll inbounds underneath their bucket. 4:16 to play in the ball game. Inbounds pass comes quickly to the low post, and the shot attempted to be taken, but the foul will go against the Bears. And that will go against Kennedy Lamberson. It's her first, and it will send Kaylin Hale to the free throw line.
Hale playing some good fourth quarter minutes here.
She is, isn't she, huh?
Yeah.
Hale, a junior, at 5'9" tall. She hits the first free throw. And again, you look at this team. I mean, they're 5'8", 6 foot, 5'8", 5'7", 5'9", 5'10", 5'10", 6 foot.
Yep.
They've got a half a dozen young ladies that are 5 foot and 5'6", mixed in with that mesh there. But when you start to look at 6 or 7 or 8 young ladies who are 5'9" and taller, Clay, for a high school team, that's a pretty good lineup.
Yep, and we talked about it earlier. Always looking towards the ultimate goal, which is February. If this Paulding team can clean up their turnovers and get some better guard play, watch out.
It could be a factor. Second shot was also made, so it's 46-32 as the Bears have it in the front court, and a whistle down along the baseline. And it will go against Paulding, and that will be the 7th team foul to go against Bree Towney, and it will send Miller to the free throw line for the 1-and-1 with 4:01 to play in the ball game. Yeah, I think all in all, Coach Grosjean will be happy with the way the ladies played here tonight. Shot missed, but Arnold's there for the rebound, tries to go back through the trees, but couldn't, and turns around and throws the ball to McCullough. Sydney McCullough, the freshman that we were talking about, she swings it down to Hale, kicks it into the middle, and the hook shot's short by Bree Towney. Rebound, though, by Hale. She leaves it short, and she fights over the top of one of the Bears. That's Krupp underneath of her.
And now that is number 5 on Hale. Had a good look at the basket there, and I think she was upset, so she wanted to get that ball back.
Exactly. They missed 2 really point-blank shots within 5 feet right there. That should have been an easy bucket for one of the 2 of them.
Yeah. The second half, they've missed a lot of those, where in the first half they were knocking them down. I think that's kind of been the difference here.
A little frustration there, I think, by Paulding, and they'll take a timeout. Mark Rhodes wants to talk about it just a little bit. We'll walk away, too. It's 46-32 on the main stop scoreboard here at the Holiday Tournament in Bryan. Welcome back into Bryan High School. Jim Funderburg and Clay Parrish here as the Bears will have an opportunity for the 1 and bonus. Both teams now with 8 team fouls, so both teams will be shooting the penalty shot now. And Krupp misses the first end of the 1-and-1, and the rebound comes off to Paulding and not the basketball. It's McCullough that brings it into the front court. Gives it to Aaron on the left wing. She has Arnold all over her, and Kayla Arnold really plays some nasty defense. Feeds it inside to Sydney McCullough, and McCullough somehow got loose underneath the bucket and laid it in.
Really good back cut there. They recognize the Bears are playing really tough defense denial, so good back cut by McCullough.
4 for McCullough now on the night, and that brings the score to within 12, 46-34, with 3:11 to play here in the ball game. Bears going to take their time, be pretty patient, I think, from this point out. Arnold with the basketball on the right side, dribbles it to the right wing, then kicks it to the right corner. That's Krupp. Krupp looking for a nice cut down the lane, and that's Miner that finds her way in between a couple of Paulding Panthers, lays it in, and she is fouled on her way to the rim. For Miner, that's 25 now on the night. For the Paulding Panthers, Bree Towney, that's her second foul of the evening. And Kayla Arnold will sit down, and Delaney Miley will check back in with 2:53 to play in this basketball game. And Allie Minor trying to complete that three-point play, and she does. Minor's deadly from the free throw line. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, missed those two early. It was kind of a surprise.
What in the world happened there? Two of them in a row?
Yep.
In a row? Yeah, hold a minute now. 2:42 to play in the ball game. Paulding with the basketball. Vogel with the ball at the free throw line on the right side. Kicks it inside to McCullough, and she has it blocked by Delaney Miley. Miley comes up with the basketball. Gets away from a couple Paulding Panthers. Gets it to Minor. She'll bring it to the front court on the run. Feeds down underneath to Lamberson, a little too hard, and the rebound comes off to Paulding. And McCullough will bring this thing back in. As you said, Sydney McCullough, the freshman, who's done a pretty nice job of playing basketball here in this ball game tonight.
Yeah, need to clean the turnovers up a little bit, but as a freshman getting some varsity action, especially against a team like Bryan who's pressuring the crap out of you, done a good job.
Aaron kicks a long three from straight on. It's no good, and the Bears with the rebound. That's Lamberson. And I think Vogel is going to get called for the foul. Had her boxed in pretty well, and Lamberson trying to push her way out, and Vogel, I think, get called for the reach. No, they went the other way. Towney got the foul.
3 on her. Vogel also with 3, so.
We're under 2 minutes here, and we will walk to the other end of the floor as that is team foul number 10 now on Paulding.
Shooting 2 the rest of the way.
And Kennedy Lamberson will be at the charity line here, trying to hit that 50-point mark here for the Bears. First one spins up and out. She has another one coming. For Lamberson tonight, she has 4 points, looking for point number 5. Bears check Hannah Maxey into the ball game here with 2 minutes to play. And she'll hit the second one. So the Bears do hit the half-century mark here with that one. And that's 5 points now on the night for Lamberson with 1:54 and counting. Don't forget, we have the Stryker Fairview game coming up for the championship here at the Lady Bears Holiday Tournament. The entry pass gets kicked away by Krupp, and then the ball is stolen away by Lamberson after Aaron picked it up and tried to feed the center. And the Bears have the basketball in the front court with 1.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Miley dribbles, feeds it to Miller. Miller looking for some help. She'll kick it back outside, and that is Hannah Maxey, who kind of got bumped around a little bit and had to scramble for that basketball, but she maintained it. Miley kicks back to Miller. Miller drives the lane. Oh, boy, I don't know how she got that one in, but that was a nice little shot with that left hand as she was speeding her way down that lane. She just found that little square, and you know what they tell you, when you put that ball in the square,
all it's got to do is touch that square and it's going in. That's what I was always told.
And it did, man. She had it. Vogel with a nice move on the other end, and she gets around Krupp and bounces it off that square herself. And for Vogel, that's 10 now in the night as we're under 1 minute to play. 52-36, Bears up by 16 on the main stop scoreboard. Miley with a nice cut to Krupp, and Krupp had the ball blocked by Aarons, but she gets her own rebound, and then she kicks it out to Miley, and it gets knocked out of bounds by Vogel. It'll be Bryan basketball at the midcourt stripe, and we're going to bring some serious substitutions in. Schindeldecker comes in for the Bears. Robb comes in for the Bears. You're going to sit Krupp down, Miley down, Lamberson down.
A really good second half here from the Bears. Cleaned some things up, hit a few shots.
Hannah Maxey, the third young lady coming off the bench, and she had the basketball. Gets it to Deach, back out to Maxey with 24 seconds to go. Maxey drives and then feeds it back out front. Miller tries to kick it back down to Maxey on the left wing, and she'll send it back outside. 13 seconds. I'm not sure whether the Bears will even take another shot. They're just dribbling and watching that clock click down to 0-0. Miller with the basketball, 2 seconds to play, and that's going to do it here. As the horn will sound, the Bears will not get a shot off, but they will record a 52-36 win here tonight over Paulding. And again, for Coach Grosjean, you know, what's that about kissing your sister in the old days they used to tell you about?
That's right.
That's kind of what it is to win the consolation game at your home tournament. But I'll tell you what, and that's what I told him, and that's what we said numerous times. It's another step forward. The team rebounded from a tough loss last night. They take care of business tonight. Now they'll get a little holiday off, and they can get ready for the new year and get back into business business here once January starts.
Yep, got to get tuned up for league play, which a lot of good NWAL girls and boys teams this year, but Archibald obviously the favorite. But
yep.
got to get ready to play and got to keep finding other weapons other than Allie Miner on the offensive end, I think. She had a nice night tonight, but got to find another second, third scorers to be successful.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, and that's what they've been trying to find here all year long. Kayla Arnold last night had 14. Bailey Krupp has had some nights at times. Kennedy Lamberson has had some pretty nice performances for him at times. But again, that consistent person that can come out every night and be that complementary player and hit double figures every night. Last night we had 3 of them in double figures, and we still got beat by Stryker. Tonight, I don't think the final stats are going to show 3 people in double figures for the Golden Bears.
Well, especially when last night, Kaylee Arnold comes out and does something she usually doesn't do. But Miner got going there in the second half, hit a couple jump shots, did what she does best, get to the hole, split that defense, split that zone. Really need to work on in that transition, though, finding the open person. Because most teams are going to say, I'm going to come up and play her. I'd rather have somebody else beat me than have Miner beat me, because we know she's the stud.
No doubt about that. Well, the Bears will win the consolation game. We have the Stryker Fairview Championship game coming up here for you shortly. Why don't we go through? You got any final stats we want to go over here real quick, Clay, and then we'll take a break and go to some music for a little bit on QCT and on BMU TV. Why don't we take a break right now, though, and we'll come back with some final stats. Bears win tonight 52-36 here at the Bryan Holiday Tournament. We'll step away. When we come back, we'll put a wrap on game number 1. Then we'll take a break, and we'll go to game number 2. Back here at the Golden Bear Ladies Tournament, Jim Funderburg along with Clay Parrish. And Clay, let's look at some final stats here real quick before we take a break.
For the Lady Golden Bears, who were victorious tonight, Delaney Miley, 5 points. Schindeldecker hit a big 3-pointer in the second quarter when things got kind of lull there for the Golden Bears. So 3 points for her, 5 points for Kelly Miller, 3-pointer in the first quarter was a big shot for her. Of course, Allie Miner, 26 points, big second half for her. 11 fourth quarter points, really got going to the rim, a couple and ones there. 8 points for Bailey Krupp, nice night inside, and Kennedy Lamberson with 5 points. Missed a lot of jump shots, Lamberson did, but didn't let it stop her. She was going to keep shooting, and sometimes, you know what they say, shooters are going to keep shooting whether it's going in or out.
That's right.
So if she's going to be the shooter, that's fine. 5 points for her. And for the Paulding Panthers, who fell tonight, 10 points for Faith Vogel, 12 points for Bree Towney, 4 points for Kaylin Hale, 6 points for Cassidy Posey, and 4 points for the freshman Sydney McCullough. Kind of spread out there. The big girls doing a good job, Towney and Vogel inside, but not much guard play. Only 4 points from the guards in total. Going to need a little more than that going forward if you're going to look for success for the Paulding Panthers.
No doubt about that. Well, we have about 14 minutes before the start of the next game. We're going to take about 5 or 6 minutes off, start to get things lined up for the next ball game. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes to get you ready for the championship game here tonight from Bryan High School. It'll be Stryker against Fairview here from the Bryan High School Holiday Tournament.